Okay, so today we've got with us Naomi Bowers-Joseph from the library. Hello, Naomi.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
So thank you very much for joining the Derby University Maths Society to tell us all about maths resources. But you're the senior skills officer or a senior skills officer at the library. What's the senior skills officer and how's that help
Yes,
students?
yes, I am. I am the senior skills officer at the library. There is only one of me. Yes, so I work in the skills team. It used to be called study skills. We had a restructure a few years ago, and we dropped the study skills, the study, and we're now the skills team. So we are a service that helps all students of the university. So we don't do anything. We don't do anything subject specific, but we're helping with those universal skills. So academic writing, time management, note taking. I ran a note taking workshop this morning. All those skills that's just useful for everybody.
And then in terms of the books themselves, obviously we're maths students and we're likely to come into the library to borrow maths books. Are
Yes.
there are there a lot of maths books in the library?
There are a lot of maths books in the library. So we use a system called the Dewey Decimal System to arrange our books, and maths books are in between the numbers 510 and 519 in the Dewey Decimal System. So
I might write that down. So
if you were
510 and 515.
519, 519.
519, okay.
So if you were in any library that used the Dewey Decimal System, from any organisation, any institution, any library that uses that system, if you went to the numbers 510 to 519, you would find maths books because that's a universal system. It's then broken down further. So the 510s will be one kind of maths, the 511s will be another kind of maths, the 512s will be another kind of maths. And it's a numerical system that keeps the books on the same subject together, essentially. And anyone that's tried to find a book in the library will know that the numbers can get quite long. So you might have 513.7264, and the 7264 will all be different subcategories. I mean, they're not random numbers. Each subcategory will have its own number assigned to it, and it drills down into more and more detail. So the longer a number is in the Dewey Decimal System, the more specific and specialized a book will be. So a book that's just 510 will be a very broad general maths books. A book that's 513.74216345 will be a very specific kind of maths.
Well, as maths people, obviously we love numbers, but I had no
Yes.
idea that the numbering system in a library was actually universal and not specific to a given library.
Yes, so there are different systems. So different libraries will use different systems, but Dewey is one of the major ones. And like I say, it's a bit of both, because cataloguing is often done by individual librarians. So it will be an individual librarian that will look at a book and say, yes, I'm going to assign this number to it. So one librarian might assign a slightly different number to another librarian depending on the choices that they make. But generally, yes, maths will be between 510 and 519 in any Dewey Decimal library.
That's really interesting because every book is unique, isn't it? So there will be choices to be made as to how to classify that maths book. Oh, well, that's fascinating. I had no idea. And so there's a lot of them in the Derby University Library.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't give you a precise number, but there are definitely there are a lot there. If you went in and looked for that range, you'd find.
It's for us to go and explore and
yes,
go
absolutely.
And then what about research? So if we wanted to look up papers to back our kind of dissertations or report writing, how would we look for papers and research written about maths in the library?
So you've got two places. Both of these are electronic that I would recommend. We have in the library themselves, we have print journals in the library. They are quite difficult to search because they are print journals in the library. You have to pick them up and physically look through them to search them. So when you're looking for research, I would absolutely always recommend the electronic databases. So we've got two that I would recommend. One is general, and that's Library Plus. So Library Plus is the one that a lot of our students use, that a lot of students have heard of. And what Library Plus does is it searches most of the other databases that we have. So before we got Library Plus, you used to have to search lots of individual databases, and you'd use the same search term and you put it into your first database and see what came up. Then you put it into your second database and see what came up, and you do that until you ran out of databases. Now Library Plus does most of that searching for you. So you can put it in your search term once and it will search, like I say, most of what we've got and pull up the results. It also has very nice green button links that say get full text, and you can click on those and it will open up the full text of the article, essentially.
So what's the site that we would have to go to find that?
So if you go to the library homepage, so just derby.ac.uk/library, if you scroll down, you will get to a search box that you can search Library Plus through, and you can pop your terms in. We've also got a page on the library homepage called Find Subject Information. So if you're on derby.ac.uk/library and you scroll down, there's a set of 6 boxes, and one of them is called Find Subject Information, and that takes you to our library guides page. And on that page, you will find a link to Library Plus in the quick links section on the left hand side, and that will take you straight there.
So excellent. So we can just go to that search box and put in, say, linear programming, you know, click on search, and then it will search all of the research databases that the library has subscription to.
Yes, absolutely. It searches anything it can get its hands on, basically, does Library Plus. So it defaults, when you first put a search in, it will default to only showing you things that you can access right now. So it'll have a link for get full text, and you'll be able to click on it. If it's something very specialized, you might want to start looking for things that that we don't necessarily subscribe to. So this is particularly students who are doing high level degrees, things like that, might not have enough. I mean, we subscribe to an awful lot, but when you get very, very specialized, you might need to go elsewhere. So you can then, there's a filter you can take off. It defaults to having the filter on of this is what you can access right now. You can take that filter off and then see anything that it's found that we don't necessarily have access to, and then you can start exploring into library loans to get hold of things that you can't get directly.
Oh, so if there is not something that we can get directly, it will identify it, and we think, oh, that looks interesting. We could then have a conversation with the library and say, how do we get hold of this?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it would be a case of having a conversation or reading the information that we've got about interlibrary loans, because students at different levels are entitled to different things with regards to interlibrary loans. But yes, we can always, like I said, Library Plus will show you what the potential is, and then we can try and get hold of it if that's appropriate. I just want to tell you though about one more database, because we've got Library Plus, that's that general one, but then they've got a database called ZBMAT. And ZBMAT is as you can guess from the subject, the title, a math specific database. So it's an international database. It's predominantly European. I was talking to Sally Forrest, who's the academic librarian for maths, and she was telling me all about it. It used to be one that we subscribed to, so we used to pay for it, but it has recently become open access as well, which means that anybody can access it. So if you're looking in Library Plus and you're finding it's bringing up too much that's not relevant, you might want to go to this math specific database, ZBMath, and that will just be searching maths resources.
And is that ZBMath can be found on the library pages, or is that open access outside of the library?
Both. So it's open access outside the library, but we do also link to it on our pages as well. So back on that library guides page where there's a link to Library Plus under the quick links, there's also a link that says indexes and databases. And if you click on that one, it gives you an A to Z option, and it's very nice and handy being called ZB Maths, because Z is very easy to find right at the end, and it's right at the top of the Z list because it's then ZB. So it's right there, and you can click on the link and it will take you through.
Spoken like a true librarian there.
Yes. Well, I was almost about to tell you what the difference is between an index and a database, but I thought nobody actually wants to know that.
I don't know. I'm learning a lot. And then the ZB Maths database, is that if we searched on the regular database, would it find those things as well? Or are you suggesting that it just might be overrun with sort of research options, and you just might want to narrow it down and just look at the ZB Maths one?
Yeah, I think, and I was trying to find out this, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think, yes, Library Plus will search ZB Maths, but also lots of other things as well. So there might be a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So like I say, if you're finding that it's bringing up things that aren't necessarily maths relevant, that you want to go straight to the ZB Maths database and do it just in there.
Well, it's good to know we've got our own special database as well.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
feel quite special. So yes, and help with the writing and the presentation skills as
Yes.
well. So there's lots of resources, I understand, for that.
Yes. So again, this library guides page, we've got, and we were talking about this just, weren't we? We've got lots of different guides there. We've got lots of subject guides. So there's a mathematics subject guide that Sally has put together, and that's under the engineering heading on this library guides page, engineering and then mathematics. And that will tell you about lots of these library resources that we've got. We've also got our skills guides section. So there's headings for each of the different subjects that you might study, but then we've got a heading called skills guides, and we've got loads and loads of information there. So again, it's alphabetical. Our first one is academic writing, critical thinking and reading, dissertations, evaluating sources of information, exams, group work, independent studies. We have one on maths that I think we'll get to in a second, but Microsoft Office, organizing your research and references, Pebble Pad presentations, all sorts, and referencing. So we've got all those informations there. And what we've tried in the last few years is to really build up the information that's on those guides. So we've tried to put in information that comes in lots of different formats, because we all learn differently, we all process things differently, and we might want a different format in different situations as well. So they've all got text, they've all got written information that you can work through. But we've done lots of videos, and we've got podcasts on lots of subjects as well. So we've got podcasts embedded in those guides. You can listen to them straight from the guide. If that's how you want to look at that. We've started pulling in example documents, things you can download, things you can take away and use. There's loads and loads of stuff there in those skills guides, so really a good place to look. Also, we run a lot of workshops. So we've got a workshops calendar that we run regular workshops. So I was doing note taking this morning. I did time management last week. We do workshops on academic writing. We do workshops on group work, on presentations, all these things. So you can come along to those as well.
Fantastic. I think I might come to the time management.
They're all online. Those workshops are all online.
Okay.
And they have actually been for a long time. They've been exclusively online.
To remind everyone what the name of that, so what's the URL to get to that list?
So that one, again, I don't know if it's got a nice friendly URL, but from this library guides page, which is libguides.derby.ac.uk. So libguides.derby.ac.uk brings you to this library guides page. And this quick links column on the left-hand side is really helpful. And fairly near the bottom of that, there's academic and research skills workshops. And if you click on that, you will find all sorts, evaluating your sources. I'm just there now. Organizing and planning we've got coming up, building your arguments, all sorts.
Wow. So yeah, it's quite a lot of different classes. And then you've very kindly used on the library guides pages, you're advertising the Maths Cafe, which is run by students, staff at the Department
Yes.
of Maths.
On our site, let me just say, we've got a link to these academic and research skills workshops. The link just above that is to clinics and drop-ins, and the Maths Cafe is down as a clinic and drop-in.
Oh, okay. So yes, you've got all these skills workshops, but clinics and drop-ins are sort of real live questions that people can come and ask.
Yes. So our academic librarians run regular clinics as well. So again, the academic librarian for maths is Sally Forrest. So she will run regular clinics that you can book onto and drop in and ask her questions.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like a whole kind of social community there at the library. I'll be sort of dropping in every week. So what shall I learn this week?
Well, everyone's more than welcome. Everyone's more than welcome.
No, it sounds fantastic what you do. And you've also been very kind to us as well. And you have actually made us a specific page for another initiative. And that is the certification and badges. Anyone in the university who wants to prove their math skills, say to an employer, put it on the CV or something like that, there's a whole range of different maths tests, from fairly straightforward maths tests to some a little bit more sophisticated ones as well. But the great thing is that you get like a verified certificate, approvable certificate, and also the university has created Derby badges for them as well, so you can walk away with some shiny things after doing these tests. But you've very kindly put links to that and information on that on the library guides website, and you're just updating that at the moment, is that right?
I am, yes. So yes, so what we're doing on our so this is under our skills guides heading. We've got this skills guide for maths. So the subject guide for maths will be, I would recommend for maths students wanting library resources. The skills guide for maths is for all students who want that extra help and support with maths. And yes, so what we're doing is we're hosting the links to this product called Elevate My Maths, and we've got information about how to register for it if you are either a University of Derby student or an applicant to the university. We've got information about how to register on both those scenarios, and at the moment we've got some brief information about all the course details, and what's being updated over the next few weeks or so is going to be some more detailed information about the courses available and those badges that you were talking about. I've got one of my technical challenges is to work out how to upload the picture of each shiny badge onto the website so you can see what you're working towards, your shiny badge.
Brilliant. I mean, it sounds like a whole bunch of stuff, and it looks like you kind of really look after the whole sort of life cycle at university and help people with all their learning resources at every step of the way. And I suppose I want to know, kind of Harry Potter style, is there any secret library resources for math students that you can share with us? I think we're probably doing good with ZBMAT, to be fair.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I would definitely recommend that one. Like I say, I'm gonna give you two more, because I did say I was gonna give you one, but I've just thought of another one. So one would be our library YouTube channel. So this isn't specific to math students, but we've got an awful lot of information there and people don't necessarily know about it. And then within that, I would say the search function on the library YouTube channel. I can't claim to put this in myself, YouTube do it. But on YouTube, when you open up a channel, there's a search box at the top when you look at it on a computer screen that lets you search YouTube. But there's a little magnifying glass search box in the channel itself that lets you search that channel. So sometimes you can look at our YouTube channel and there's all manner of videos all over the place. But if you're just looking for something on reflection, for example, you can pop that into the search box on the channel and it will pull up everything relevant to that.
Brilliant.
So I would definitely recommend that search box on the library YouTube channel. And we've got a fancy, quick YouTube channel name. I think it's youtube.com/c/Derby Uni Library. Library Plus is also a really good place to look for ebooks for maths as well. So we've talked about the print books. I've just remembered what I was supposed to say about ebooks. We've got loads of ebooks as well. So for people who are studying online, either completely or at the moment because of what's going on, there are lots and lots of maths ebooks that you can find through Library Plus as well, so do take a look there for those.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll come and have a look at your YouTube channel, and I hope others who may be watching this as well will come and look at what we're doing at our YouTube channel. So I think that is a definite hint to subscribe to both. So if you haven't subscribed to the library YouTube channel, then go and hit subscribe there. It's obviously full of very interesting stuff and clues and ideas on how to improve your research and your skills. And of course, the Derby University Maths Society, give us a subscribe if you haven't done so already. It just leaves me to say thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you for everything the library is doing in supporting maths and putting VRETA, those maths certifications, online, and advertising the Maths Cafe and all those secret resources in putting those guides together. It's really appreciated, obviously very useful to us when we're slogging away studying maths. So thank you. So thank you very much, and yeah, hopefully catch you on your channel.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.